As hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the CWA, the Canadian Wrestling Alliance, here with the Real World Draft. As it's our first TV show, our first Stampede. As what a show! What a show it's going to be! As it's an hour long. I got it already set up, and I accidentally ran the pre-shows on accident. I accidentally ran this one, trying to just click it, just where it like pops up the screen, like, "Are you ready to start it?" And of course, that's not a thing in this one. So then I tried to start it accidentally again to back out to, get back into this screen. And so now we're here. So the pre-show, you see there, as it was a 37, the first one, Courtney Rush versus Chris Statlander, which Statlander did a 26, Courtney Rush did a 42. So and Chris Statlander won, so that might have been the wrong decision, but, we gotta get just Chris some more wins there. But Courtney Rush having a 42, it's not bad at all. And the Naomichi Marufuji and Travis Banks got a 50, which Naomichi Marufuji had a 54. Travis Banks had a 34, so that was just more of Naomichi Marufuji kind of carrying him into that one. As, that went 17 minutes too, so I'm not sure how exactly that went as far as, that goes. I don't remember what it all said at the bottom. We'll look after the show. After the show now, you can just click on the goddamn matches to see what's going on. So that's fun. So yeah, let's, without further ado, let's get it going here as we'll just fucking boom. Alright, so the Stampede TV intro. The TV intro, this first one's going to be a little longer than what it's usually going to be. It's the first one, so it's a little more special. Think of it like the first ever NWA TV intro, the NWA, TNA NWA TV intros, which is kind of like the classic music and showing, the Stu Harts, the Dungeon. There's showing all the stars from the Stampede days, obviously all the Harts, Bad News Brown, Davey Boy Smith, Dynamite Kid, basically everybody but like Bret Hart, or not Bret Hart, everybody but Chris Benoit, as, showing from that generation and then to the next one with Lance Storm, and going into even the next one with just kind of the current guys that are on there, or really like Lance Storm, Trish Stratus, Jericho, even Edge, Christian, even though, those Christians, we're not, even though Chris Jericho is at the other Canadian promotion, still, we're still showing off those names. And then to this generation, the Sami Zayns, Kevin Steens, then going onwards from that. So that's kind of like every generation of just kind of Canadian talent. And then until, kind of the way it's kind of transitioning from the old to the new and to the current era we have here. So then into, like, our actual theme and intro and stuff and whatnot. So that's just kind of fun. It's a little longer than what it's always going to be. The next one's going to be like a minute, 2 minutes long instead of like 3 to 4 minutes as it was here. As storylines got started from this, so that's good. As then we open up the show with Bret Hart, as I misspelled tonight. That's fun. Fucking dyslexic. As opens up tonight's show, as has the thanks everybody for showing up and saying that he's proud to have such a promotion, to have such a show to be put on in front of his hometown. They had the Stampede Corral, which, Stampede Corral, of course, is where a lot of the old Stampede stuff was run. Kind of like the bigger shows that was run here, the Stampede Corral side. Very awesome to see that actually being a thing. Just to hear in the mod, and just to kind of crazy that building's still around. It hasn't really been renamed or rebuilt or anything like that. But that, as something that for his father to do, to kind of carry on that tradition in a way to run a promotion here at the Stampede Corral. And for the night's main event, it's going to be crowning first ever CWA Women's Champion as Trish Stratus. Going to take on Natalya Neidhart, two of Canada's best, going at it for the CWA Women's title. As it got advanced the segment and gains the beats. That's good. So we got 260s, a 60 to a 61. Not bad. Not bad at all. As this gets a 33. As we're looking at a lot of shit that's happened here. Let's keep on scrolling. Okay. So The crowd was turned off by having a match on the main show between workers they didn't have any investment to. Cooled the crowd a little bit, but the announcing and color commentator gave it a boost, and Nakajima's going to turn heel, so we got to do that as well. So the actual gimmicks and whatnot, Bryce has got a poor gimmick for a staff meeting, or a staff member rather, Jesus Christ. This is Tomohiro Ishii, badass, gets great. Nakajima's no gimmick needed, great. Go Shizuki's no gimmick needed, adequate. Jonah Rock's badass is poor, that's tough, but old school faces for Shane Ace and Micah Nichols. Micah Nichols is great. Shane Ace, adequate. So the ratings, the best was Nakajima with 46, Ishii with a 44, Jonah Rock with a 43, 40s for Shizuki and Mikey Nichols, and a 39 for Shane Ace. So this probably would have got like a 40, around that 40, 42, but because of them not really being over, crowd kind of shit on. This could have been on the pre-show. I think in hindsight, I would have put the Courtney Rush, Statlander, or even the Naomi Marufuji, Travis Banks match. I just wanted the 6-man to kind of showcase the stables, but Tomohiro Ishii gets the win, though, over Jonah Rock with a vertical drop brainbuster in 7 minutes, too. Yeah, it was a short match, too, but it is what it is. We just kind of had to fill some time. It's kind of crazy. I figured an hour we wouldn't be strapped for time. Figured it'd be pretty adequate time limit, but it's actually we have so many people that we could be using. We might make it an hour and a half show, 2-hour show, which that would be nuts. That'd be nuts for sure. But an hour so far, we'll keep it going. But so far, we might that might be a change in the future. As this gets a 17. That is not good. As Johnny said, he comes out with the British Commonwealth heavyweight title in like a little briefcase. Talks about how not only is CWA going to showcase the best performers of Canada and all around the world, but as part of the all around the world, the CWA is having a British Commonwealth division showcasing the top talent from the UK, and that there's going to be a tournament, a 8-person tournament, to crown the first ever British Commonwealth title. He brings it out of the briefcase, shoves it up for everyone to see, as it's going to start with the first match coming up next between Sheamus O'Shaughnessy and Jacklr. That's stuff that I got a 17. Kind of want to see low morale. Oof. I figured he'd cut a good promo. Jesus. That's tough. As this gets a 52 though in the match, as we have Jacklr, Sheamus O'Shaughnessy. Sheamus gets the win with a bro kick in 8:51. As Jacklr got a 38, Sheamus got a 58. As he debuted his Celtic Warrior gimmick, which got a poor rating. That's tough. But potential heel turn from Sheamus there is hinted. As Jacklr was off his game, but that's okay. There's a 52. Could be worse. The Renee Young interviewing Natalya Neidhart backstage interview. As this is just, Renee is just, have Natalya Neidhart with us. Natty, talk to us about what's your thoughts going into tonight's main event match. First ever CWA Stampede show. You're main eventing against Trish Stratus for the CWA Women's Championship. As, kind of thoughts going into that. Talia's just, we're doing this for my dad, doing this for all of Canada, two Canada's best, somebody I looked up to in Trish Stratus. This is, an amazing opportunity, and I'm going to come out of here tonight, out of the Stampede Corral, as the first ever CWA Women's Champion. So that's just kind of where we're going with there. Just a real babyface promo. With her and TJ, TJ's going to be a heel, Natty's going to be a babyface. It's kind of going to be a unique dynamic between those two. So we're not going to have TJ in this promo, because then it kind of get off a weird vibe, and I didn't want, really wouldn't want any mansplaining on our first show, because that's kind of what he'd be doing for Natty there, if we put him in the segment. But we didn't. But Renee Young's debuted her staff member gimmick, and it got a rating of very good. So that's a great job for her, and then adequate for the Family Legacy gimmick. As go to the co-main. So this is a tag team tournament. I'm going to say with air quotes, because I don't want to showcase the tournament as a graphic type of thing, unlike what we did with the Stampede, not with the Stampede, with the CWA British Commonwealth title, as this is the co-main event right here. Steen and Sami Zayn, Miz and Morrison, and I believe there's going to be 12 teams in it. I could be wrong off the top of my head, but I believe it's either 12, 16, something like that. And here is really the big time first round matchup. The reason I put this in the first round is, what happens during this match. As the Miz and Morrison defeated Sami Zayn and Kevin Steen in 15:57, the Miz pinned Sami Zayn with a skull-crushing finale. But that was only after when Miz and Morrison, they're in the ring. Kevin Steen comes in, takes out the Miz, throws him to the outside, grabs Morrison, hits a fucking package pile driver, rolls him over to Sami Zayn for him to hit the brain buster. Sami Zayn hits it, gets back up, pops back up, and Kevin Steen just hits Sami Zayn in the gut. Package pile just drives him, leaves him laying for the Miz to roll back in there, hit him with the skull-crushing finale and get the win. So Kevin Steen turns on Sami Zayn, and why, damn it, why'd you do that? We'll find out more in the next episode, as we're gonna change there. We're gonna turn him babyface. Perfect. So that's huge. So the turn was great, and now the gimmick was great. So that's good. Hell yeah. As the ratings are, Kevin Steen with a 77. So far, that's been the best thing so far. Sami Zayn with a 65. Morrison with a 64. 62 for Miz. Miz debuted as a franchise player. That was adequate. Maurice debuted her bitch gimmick, which that was awful. Yeah, that's kind of... But Taya debuted her bitch gimmick, and that was very good. As they have great chemistry, Miz and Morrison, that makes sense. Maurice did a good job ringside. The Miz and Maurice have pretty good chemistry, that also makes sense. And then John Morrison and Taya are a good pairing, and they play off each other well. So here, we're just kind of seeing as... Oh, it was a comedy gimmick. Oh. Interesting. As, yeah, we saw that already. Taya. Oh, it can be penalized if she's losing to a comedy gimmick. I see now. Same thing there. Alright, so that just kind of is what it is. So now we're on to the main event for the CWA Canadian Women's title matchup, and Trish Stratus gets the win in 7:34 with Stratisfaction, as she is the first ever CWA Canadian Women's Champion. Just like that, as Trish Stratus gets a 63, Natalya with a 55. Trish Stratus just debuted her, if I just gave her, like, her gimmick was just 100% Stratisfaction, just something that was only for her, and it got an initial rating of great, so that's huge, as, we'll see here, just off the recap. So it is just like a swagger gimmick. That's kind of really what it is, pretty much. To summarize that, as we go off camera and we fade to black after Trish Stratus celebrating with her CWA Canadian Women's title as the closing shot, the end shot, before we fade to black of our first ever television show. Awesome. So awesome. As that got a 70. That was a great way to end it. It still lost the pop in the region. Figured that would happen because our TV is so high. But what I thought would do well did well. This really shit the bed. I would love... I don't know what I set it to. If I set it to charisma or microphone or entertainment. Either way, Johnny Saint can't cut a fucking promo, is what it seems like there. So that's tough. Had that been Regal, he would have killed it, but that's okay. As you know, I want to say, because it's a very big our TV show, and it is late evening. I think what we needed to do was like a 64. I think we just barely missed the cut. Let's just to show everyone I wasn't fucking lying. There we go. As we got a million people looked like that, so that was cool. So that went that. 54, 34. Yep. As we do have Beth Phoenix. Sign her. There we go. as Big E got hired by E&W on a written contract. That is weird. As we got 2 house shows, and yep. Okay, so a lot of hirings of the women division all over the place. I want to go to the television show real quickly. Real quick. Vince TVs. So I might change that. Yeah, I might change that to an hour and a half, 2-hour show. Just kind of where we're at there. As we'll see here. Do look at the broadcasting real quick, just to. So a minimum quality of a 61. And what we have, a 62? Am I correct on that? Yeah, we just barely missed the minimum. So, I mean, that makes sense. It's the first show. Usually the first shows are always a little bit more tougher on ratings and whatnot. We gotta get our footing and whatnot. But the co-main and main worked out really well. If we trade out the Marufuji, Travis Banks pre-show match and whatnot, I'm sure it'll work out better than what it usually does. But I believe that will do it. Yeah, that will be our first television episode, episode 2 of the CWA Real World Draft mod. As we will catch you guys next week. Take care, everyone.